Did I check like grist or anything to figure out if I'm gonna get an appropriate amount of yardage? No. No, I didn't. Hi friends, welcome or welcome back. I'm MC, a knit and crochet designer and yarn dyer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube where you can get to know me a little bit better. Today we are here on May 20th for episode 49 of the podcast. I can't believe we're almost at episode 50. I'm almost at my 2-year mark of doing this, which is insane to me. Absolutely wild. I feel like I have something stuck on my hat, sorry. I just can't believe it's been that long. And so yeah, let's jump right on in today. We have a little bit of everything. Knitting. Do we have crochet? No. Oh, okay. We only have knitting and spinning to talk about today. So let's jump right in with what I'm wearing because it's something you haven't seen before. We have to talk about finished objects in conjunction with what I'm wearing because I started and finished something since the last time I saw you. Now first I'm wearing a hat because my hair's doing a thing today, and you know, I didn't want to spend any time dealing with it, so we just plopped this on, and I thought it looked kind of good with my new finished object, although I'm giving very fall vibes rather than spring, but that's okay. Without further ado, this is the Netty vest, and I am in love. I love it so much. Let me get closer. It has an I-cord edge around the sleeves. It's slightly wider on the shoulders, so that it definitely will cover bra straps. It has an I-cord edge, but you basically can't even tell that it's there. So it really just kind of like fades off into oblivion on the shoulders. And then it has this lovely mock neck and some very significant ribbing down at the bottom. And I just learned this term the other day. Have you ever heard of a meet and greet top? I just learned about it. It's basically, I mean, it's kind of what it sounds like. It's designed to meet, to like basically end right where your jeans or your pants or bottom, whatever you're wearing on the bottom, starts. So they meet and kiss, but there's no overlap. So that's what I was going for with this, was meet and greet length. I mean, come on, it's perfect. It's perfect. And also I had like inches of my yarn left. Inches. I maybe could have squeezed out one more round around the neck if I really wanted to, but that's about it. I basically had enough to weave in my ends and then move on. But let's talk about the yarn and the inspiration behind this project and all that stuff. This is actually some hand spun that I made myself. This was from CVM, some CVM fiber. I did not prep this fiber myself and like scour the fleece and everything. This was already prepared. It was just some, you know, I don't remember if it was roving or comb top. I don't know, but it was prepped fiber, some beautiful brown CVM that I got when I went to Rhinebeck last year, and I love CVM. I love it so much. It's so squishy. I'm actually probably gonna be hot by the time I finish talking about this, but it's not even 70 in Connecticut today, so I felt like I was okay. This I spun to be a fingering weight, and this is going to be a new design. If you've been following me for a little while, I did work on a kind of half sleeve sweater and another vest tank thing like this last year with some hand spun, and I kind of finished them. I started them in the fall, finished them in winter time, and I was kind of like, well, it's too late to release them now. A lot of people really loved them, and I just figured I would get things working towards releasing them this fall. So keep an eye out for this. Coming soon-ish. I'm hoping to get it, I think I'm aiming for getting it into testing sometime in June. No real rush on it. We're gonna have plenty of time before the release in the fall, but I feel like this would be really fun for like a Rhinebeck sweater maybe, you know, because Rhinebeck is, you never know. It's a crapshoot. Sometimes it's freezing, sometimes it's not. So this could be something that you can like wear if it's a warmer day, just like this. But if it's a cooler day, you could layer it over a long sleeve shirt or something. That would be really fun. So this will be out in time for a quick Rhinebeck sweater make. And the goal, my inspiration, was to start making a line of, or a collection of clothing that is made with hand spun. And there is still a regular gauge that you can get with regular yarn. There's nothing special about designing with hand spun versus designing with mass-produced milled yarn. I just wanted to make this out of hand spun, and so I've decided to name it the Nettie vest, and the Nettie sweater will be coming soon, because Nettie is the first sheep that I processed myself. I got fleece from this wonderful sheep named Nettie and processed it myself. It is not this fiber, but I just felt like it would be a really nice way to have a little nod towards that passion of mine and that part of yarn and fiber and fleece and all that stuff that I love so much. So anyway, I started and finished this within a week. I love it so much. It's perfect. I wanted something, I really loved this yarn, and I wanted something that would allow me to use up every single scrap of it, and I succeeded. So we'll talk about the sweater in a second, but first we have one more finished object that I told you I would not talk about very much, and here they are. These are my percolated socks, fingering weight. I finally finished them, and let me tell you, I finished them about 3 minutes before I started filming. I'm ashamed of myself, but they're done. They're done. Okay, they're not blocked. I have to put them in water as soon as I'm done filming, but they're done. These are the percolated socks. They are made with my colorway, focus please, thank you, tall decaf cappuccino on my For Sure fingering base. This pattern is available on Ravelry, as well as a DK weight version of the same socks, and there's a bundle where you can get the fingering weight and DK weight versions for a little bit of a discount if you're interested in both patterns. That's all I gotta say about these. I'm tired of talking about them. Let's move on to works in progress. This is something that I have been very slowly picking away at here and there. We won't spend too much time talking about it because this is gonna be another thing that I'm just like tired of talking about after so long, but this is my E Street sweater by Brie of the Little Wolf Knits. I am using my colorway FOX on For Sure fingering, and I was right here last time with this Progress Keeper from Stacy of Bah Humble, and I realized I had to try it on. I did about an inch, maybe an inch and a half of the rest of the body, and then I did my ribbing, and I'm all good. I actually ended up deciding to make it about an inch shorter than is called for in the pattern. So I am making 2 sizes smaller than what the pattern calls for my bust, because I want to end up with like neutral-ish ease. And I decided to make it about an inch shorter because, again, once this blocks and pulls down, I'm going to end up with like that perfect length that hits right at the top of my jeans, and I'm really feeling that lately. Should this be my thumbnail? That's a great great picture. Anyway, so that's done. I will move my progress keeper and just kind of, let's see, I'll put it up here at the neck. I need to pick up the neckband and do that, and then do 2 sleeves. And we're just gonna kind of pick at them when we feel like it. I'm actually kind of anxious to get working on the neck, so I might have that done by the next time you see me. I don't think this will be done by the next time you see me because I have some other things I'm really excited about, but we're just gonna keep chipping away at it. I'm not gonna need it for a little while, but I am quite enjoying working on it. The next thing that I have to show you is something that I started just the other day, and I was not expecting to start it, and I had no plans, 0 plans for this, but I was talking to a friend, and she said she was showing me a recent finished object that she had, which was my central pearl pattern, which is a tank that has, it's a DK weight tank with 2 options for either straps or a racer back, and it is still my most popular pattern. And I love that. I'm very happy about that. And she was showing it to me and saying that she loved it, and I was very appreciative. And I said, you know, I've always intended to go back to my central pearl and do a fingering weight version or do a t-shirt version or something. I always wanted to have something else that was a nod to that and kind of expand the range because people love it so much. It's got very simple little details that just make it a little bit different than your regular tank. And this was in a conversation with a couple of different friends, and people started saying, oh my gosh, fingering weight version, I would love that. Let me know when you want testers for the fingering weight version. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I can do that. I can make it work. So I was about to go away for the weekend, which I'll tell you about more later, but we were going to Boston, and I happened to notice that there is a coffee shop in Boston called Central Perk, inspired by the Central Perk from Friends, kind of themed coffee shop. And I thought, if I'm gonna make a Central Perk, I could make it in Central Perk, and that would be perfect. So I kind of pushed it up on my idea list because I had some wiggle room. And the point of the matter is that I started a fingering weight version of my central pearl. Where is the front? This is it. Oh, my needles are caught. There we go. This is in Power Surge on my For Sure fingering. That's not my eyeball. It has like the eyeball box like over here. There's no eyeball there. What are you doing? Anyway, this is Power Surge on For Sure fingering, and I am making a fingering weight central pearl. I'm super excited. This is a bottom up tank, which I haven't done in a long time. I like don't really design that way anymore, but you know what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with bottom up, top down. It's totally just a matter of preference, and some designs, some stitch patterns and whatnot work better in one way versus the other. So I am doing fingering weight, and I can't wait. Let's see, I'm doing the pattern also has an option for having waist shaping or no waist shaping. I'm doing mine with the waist shaping, and I'm thinking about making it a little bit more on the cropped side for me. So what I did with my original ones was I had a full length with waist shaping, and then I had a cropped without waist shaping, and I kind of wished I had switched that. So that's what I'm gonna do for samples for the fingering weight version. And yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way into my increases for the shaping, just chugging along. Now I'll be able to put a little bit more time and effort into this now that I have those socks out of the way. I think this will become my main focus. So yeah, I also have something coming up. I would love to be able to wear it. My birthday's in a few weeks, and I would love to be able to wear this around my birthday. So I'm hoping to get it done pretty soon. I think it's going to be, whoops, sorry. I think it's going to be easy enough to get done quickly, especially if it's the only thing I am working on. And then last but not least, for not finished objects, works in progress, I have a spin that I started, and this is kind of fun. This is what the braid, nicely packaged braid looks like. This is from Wee Chickadee Wool Co. And this is a braid of Jacob wool, which I feel like you don't find often, is hand-dyed Jacob, or I think they also have some like Masham, which I've never seen hand-dyed before. They have some interesting breeds on their shop. And also, like, oh my god, the way that they like delicately package every single braid is just like, wow. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway called On the Road. And yeah, I got 2 braids of this. It's beautiful. And what I've decided to do is something new. Because of course, why would I practice a new technique when I could just dive into a sweater spin, you know, and just try it on all of the wool instead of trying it to see if I even like it first, right? So I was watching recently, Natalie of Nitty Natty was talking on her podcast about a spinning class that she took, and she was talking about learning parallel or combination drafting, which is where you take, maybe I'm just gonna pop a picture in because I can't, I'm not gonna be great at explaining it. You basically take your fiber and you split it up into really tiny strips, and then you are drafting from 2 different strips of fiber at the same time, so you get much more blending of the colors. Not necessarily blending, but more like barber poling of the colors. And it kind of breaks it up more, so it's different than like with a fractal or something, you would get a lot more stripes. This makes it look a little bit more kind of pixelated. So anyway, I thought, here's my thought process. I want to use this to make the netty sweater. So I'm going to have double-ish the amount of yarn. So I'm going to be able to make the netty sweater with the sleeves. And what I was thinking is that I would love for it to not have stripes in it. I kind of want it to look like, I feel like if you take a look at this from like really far away, the colors blend together more, and then when you get up close, you're like, oh, actually there's so much different like colors and tones in there. And so I thought it'd be fun to try and mix it up. So anyway, the point is, I'm almost done with my first bobbin. And you can see, like, yeah, there are definitely stripes of color in there, but it's so hard to see because it's so low contrast. But there are spots where things are barber poling, and I'm super excited about it. There is a significant amount of more of like the bluey gray is more in here than the reddish tones, and so it's kind of, I end up with a little bit more of the bluey gray stuff really becoming prominent, but I don't know how to explain this. I think it's going to be so cool. I think I'm really glad it's turning out okay, because I was nervous because I just went into it without trying. But I think what's going to kind of happen is it's going to end up with that like almost oil slick kind of look, where from far away it's going to look like I have almost a solid colored sweater on, or maybe like a heathered kind of sweater. And then when you get up close, you'll be able to see like, whoa, there's so much going on in there. And I cannot wait. And did I check like grist or anything to figure out if I'm gonna get an appropriate amount of yardage? No, I didn't. We're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. I know what I I have been pretty consistent with when I have 8 ounces fiber. I usually have been getting somewhere between 650, 750 yards. And I know that's a decent range, but I should be okay to get what I need out of this. So wish me luck. Going in without much planning, but I think it's going to be really fun if it works out. And I'm hoping to get, I definitely want the spin to be done by the next time I see you, and then I really want to get the sweater cast on as soon as I possibly can, because like I said, I'd like to get that into testing in June at some point. So yeah, super excited. Let's move on to all the admin and life and all that kind of stuff. We don't have much to talk about in terms of the shop, but I'm gonna do some admin here as well. Last time I said I was hoping to have a new collection ready to show you by the time I filmed this video, and I clearly do not, since I just said I don't have a lot to talk about. The past 2 weeks have been a blur. I feel like I just sat down to film my last video. It has been wild. It's just, yeah, nothing happened. I still am at basically the same spot with prepping for that collection. It's like kind of ready, but like not ready to show you yet. So, sorry. We'll try again next time, I guess. But other than that, admin wise, I posted a video last week doing a little bit of a vlog where I ended up finishing my Beige DK, which was a finished object that I showed on my last podcast. And I kind of just like hung out with you, and I did some picking of fleece, and I like wandered around in a cute little town. I went and got some coffee. It was just kind of like a hangout and check in with your friend kind of video, and I think a lot of you have liked it, so thank you. I had a lot of fun just turning on the camera and talking to you when I felt like it, and I'm glad that a lot of you have liked it. So if you haven't seen it yet, I will link that for you. And then next week I have a question for you. I have been working on finally putting together a video compilation, blog, whatever you want to call it, of my time in Hawaii. I did not, none of the time I was in Hawaii did I actually like sit down and talk to the camera. It's all like B-roll, I guess. But I could do a voiceover. I've just been starting to assemble all of that so that you can see a lot of the stuff that I did while I was in Hawaii and we can chat about it. I was thinking of setting it up as a premiere. So when a video is set as a premiere, basically it will like say it's going to be Saturday at 10 a.m., right? It will show on your feed, if you're subscribed, that the video will be premiering Saturday at 10 a.m. and then you can sit there with me. I will be there too. We'll all be on our computers watching the video at exactly the same time. And then there's like a chat box, chat field where we can chat and you can ask me questions and I can answer them. And then of course, if you can't make it, that will all, like, it's still going to be a YouTube video and it will be, the chat will be visible later. So if you had some of the same questions that people had and you want to see what I had to say, you don't have to be there when it goes live. But I was thinking about that. I've never done a premiere. Honestly, I don't even know if I've ever watched a premiere of someone else's video. So let me know. Would you show up? Are you interested? Do you care? If you're not, that's fine too. I'm still gonna post it. But yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on premieres. Like I said, the past 2 weeks has been an absolute whirlwind. It has been just wild. So the last time I filmed, I was like, I think I sound a little funny. Do you think I sound funny? Well, I ended up getting so much worse. And I never really felt bad. I felt like kind of foggy headed, but never like actually sick. But I sounded like I was dying. My voice was so bad. I was so stuffed up, even though like I was really stuffy, but I could breathe just fine. It was so weird. It was the weirdest illness I've ever experienced. And it lasted about a week before my voice finally came back. And I felt like okay, but I also just was like clearly not, you know? I don't know. It was weird. So that got in the way a little bit of some plans. I kind of just, even though I felt okay, I still made sure to take a little bit of extra time and like rest myself and like have some tea and just like not be as active because I felt like my body was telling me it needed it even if I was feeling okay. So that was strange. I'm all better now. Then this past weekend, we took an extended weekend and we were up in Boston because of two things. One, it was our 5-year wedding anniversary, and two, on the very same day, Joe was walking in his graduation ceremony for his master's. So it was a very busy weekend. It was very fun. I was really impressed with the whole graduation ceremony and stuff. Joe did his whole program online through Boston University, and we got to go into their like studios and stuff and take a look at how they run the online classes because his were live, not recorded. And it was wild. It was wild to see how many people are a part of the production and all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So I was really impressed. And I was really impressed with the number of people that got online degrees and came to walk in the graduation ceremony. It was very cool. It was a really nice weekend. We also did a lot of just walking around. So Joe also went to Boston University for his undergrad. So he used to live in Boston. I did not used to live in Boston, but I have been to Boston a bajillion times. I have friends who used to live in Boston. I would visit them all the time, but I haven't been to Boston. I've been to Boston as an adult, but kind of like in and out quick trips. I haven't been like walking around Boston in a really long time, since I was kind of in the going to Boston just for the bars age. So it was really fun. It was so much fun. We stayed in Cambridge. We walked around Cambridge a little bit, which neither of us had explored too much before. We did a lot of walking around near BU, near the river. We then finally ended up going into more downtown. We did so much walking. We were like literally comparing blisters by the end of the weekend. My feet, I took off. My phone is ringing. Shush. Shush. At one point I took off my shoes and my sock was all bloody. Like I walked until my feet bled, but it was so much fun. And it was really nice. I love Boston and I forgot how much I love Boston. It's such a good city. So highly recommend. It's a great place. And we had an amazing weekend, but oh my gosh, I'm pooped. Absolutely pooped. Other than that, we have been watching / catching up on Andor and The Last of Us. So if you watch either of those shows, talk to me, please. Let's talk about it. We are caught up on everything. Well, Andor is over now, but we're caught up on The Last of Us. And because of that, because of the sickness, the travel, and all these shows that we've been trying to catch up on, I have finished no books. No books! In 2 weeks! Nothing! I can't remember the last time that I went 2 weeks without finishing a book. It's wild. If you've been reading anything good, let me know, because I'm clearly not making any progress. It's because the audiobook I'm currently listening to has me in a little bit of a slump and I don't like it. Anyway, I am going to go change for the 4th time today. I had an appointment this morning and then I changed to like work and get stuff done around the house, and then I changed into this for the podcast, and now I'm going to go change again because I think I might run to the gym for a little bit, and then I'm probably going to change again when I get home. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me. I will maybe talk to you if I do a premiere for that Hawaii video next week. And until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye.